Thank you for joining me. My name is Meghan Fahey, and today we are going to be talking about polymer clay jewelry. So this is oven baked clay. We're going to be talking about how to kind of roll it out, use some different cutters, make some different designs. I'll talk to you about how you do put it into the oven, how you bake it. It's about 20 minutes in the oven, and then you can pull them back out. And when they are cool, you can put jewelry findings into them and make some really cute earrings. So we have some different slabs that are already kind of pre-designed, which are really cool. There's a lot of different choices. So one of the first questions I'm going to ask for those of you who are here live with me is which slab you'd like to see me work with. So I have like an ombre blue orange. I have a blue check. I have a black and white. And I have this purple one with silver and blue. So the choices are this ombre, blue checker, black and white, or this purple and silver. So let me know in the chat which one you want to see me work with live in class today. But I'm going to show you lots of different ways that you can work with polymer clay that's already a slab that's already designed, like the ones I'm showing you now. And I'll also talk to you about how you can make your own slab. So there's lots of cool things. Ooh, I'm seeing a lot of purple in the chat. So it looks like purple is definitely going to be the winner. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other camera and I'll show you the different supplies we'll be using. So in our supply sheet for today, I had this purple and blue linked. I also had this black, white, and gray slab. Some jewelry findings. This is an earring findings kit, which is a really nice kit that comes with some of those dangly earrings. It comes with some studs. It comes with some jump rings. So this is everything you need in order to make several different cool pairs. You'll notice some of these pairs that I've made down here are using this slab. So I can show, well, actually it's a little bit of a different slab, but using the slab, you can make some, and then eventually you'll see that you'll run out of space on the slab. And so you'll have some extras and you can roll those extras up and still make some really cool things. They don't have the perfect design on them anymore because they're extra, but you do have ways that you can still use up every last bit of that slab. So one of the questions in the chat is asking about, do the items in the earring kit contain nickel? So that's always important for people with allergies or sensitivities. And there are lots of choices in the jewelry findings aisle at Michael's that do not contain nickel. So just read the packaging. I'm not sure right off the top of my head because I don't have the packaging still on this one, if this one in particular has nickel in it or not, but it will definitely say it on the packaging and it will definitely say it online. So there are other choices so that you can make sure that you don't have something that you're going to be allergic to. So again, I'm going to show you some of these slabs because I think they're just really beautiful and really cool. So at your local Michael's, you'll have different assortments. I like this 3-pack because you can really play with this and kind of mix and mingle those colors together and make lots of interesting things. But I do love these pre-made slabs in these designs, and they really are ready to go. You'll see just how easy it is for us today to roll these out a little bit more, use some cutters, and you have officially made earrings. So here are the things, the slab, the earring findings, and then I'm going to be using a piece of parchment paper to kind of protect my work surface. So here is a piece of parchment paper. And I also put a link for today's class with a set of clay tools. So the set of clay tools is a really cool set. It's from Bead Landing, and it has a really nice razor blade, especially if you're going to get into this and do some of the stuff with slabs and making canes and slicing things and making really intricate designs. This is a nice blade to have to cut through your clay. It also has some of these different tools that you can use to either make marks in your clay or to cut through your clay to give yourself good edges and to eventually poke through also to be able to make the earrings and the different things that we're going to be doing together today. So this kit is really nice. Something that I didn't necessarily put on my list, but I think could be helpful are these rolling guides. So these guides, you're going to find out pretty soon, are cool because there's a thickness guide. So you usually want your slab to be probably no less than three centimeters. And so this is going to keep your rolling pin from rolling this out too thin. So you can check that out. And then these come maybe a little thicker with 4.5 millimeters, sorry, millimeters, not centimeters. And so when you're rolling out your clay, these guides won't let your clay get any thinner than that 4.5, and it's going to keep the thickness of the clay consistent throughout the whole slab. So these are cool, but if you are not ready to invest in these, I have definitely used before just popsicle sticks or craft sticks and let those stack a couple if you wanted a thicker. So you don't have to buy these measuring tools. You can always use craft sticks as well to get you started. But once you get into the habit and get into this hobby pretty well, you might want to upgrade to these measurement slabs. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I don't know off the top of my head how much this costs, but that might be something we can find out for you during this class. And this is the pre-made sheet, and it does come with some great directions, so you can keep those handy, especially when it comes to time to bake these. You're going to want that. What's nice about this is not only is it in this plastic package, but within it, there's one more layer because you don't want your clay to dry out. So this is a really good protection, making sure that this clay is ready for us to go. And I'm going to take this. If I do have any leftovers, I want to make sure that I put it in an airtight kind of bag or packaging, seal it up really nicely so that the air doesn't get to it to dry it out. But this slab is awesome. It's on both sides, which is cool for a slab also, because sometimes when you're making a slab, it only has the pattern on one side. So this is cool, especially for earrings, so that you can see both. So I have this, and like I said, you don't have to use these measuring guides. You can just put craft sticks down, but here's why I'm doing this. I'm going to roll this out so that I have the thickness a little bit thinner and give myself a little bit more surface area to work with. But I'm just going to take the roller that comes in that clay kit with the clay tools, and I'm just going to roll this out. Now I'm rolling in the direction of the pattern, so even if it spreads out the pattern a little bit, it's not going to distort it. It's still going to look very cool. I might even flip it over and do it on the other side as well. And I'm using the parchment paper to kind of protect my surface and also be able to pull this back up. And once I find what I'm using the slab for and I make my little earrings, I'm going to put them onto a separate piece of parchment paper, maybe in a tray, or if you have, whoa, or if you have something like, I also have handy a baking pan, because you are going to put these into the oven, and you can just put your parchment paper onto the baking pan right away after you cut them out and get the shapes that you like. So I think if you check this, it is officially this measurement of 3 millimeters because it's not going down any further and it's nice and even all the way across. So that's what's cool about this guide, is that it makes sure that the thickness of your slab is consistent throughout the whole entire thing. So you can tell we have some really cool silver specks in here, and we have these really awesome lines. If you were to try and make this slab yourself, this would take a very long time and would take a lot of skill. So it's very cool that someone has already pre-made this for us so that we can look like professional jewelry makers without all that extra time. So I put a set of cutters into the shopping list for today. I think they're called like Mini and Memphis, and they have some fun, interesting shapes. So there's some of these that look like squiggles. There's some of these tiny ones that we can use to make some studs. There are also some cool squares, some almost macaroni little rainbow shapes, triangles. I think there's a nice circle too. So I am going to start off with a circle. And here's my slab. And I'm gonna position, since I'm making earrings and I kind of want them to be a pair, I'm gonna position this right here. And then I'm gonna make the next earring that matches it right next to it, because that's the best chance I'm gonna get at kind of matching the pattern. If I put a cutter down here and then I put it somewhere else on the slab, then the lines aren't necessarily gonna match up and the colors aren't necessarily going to be the same. And sometimes you want that difference, but sometimes you don't. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to push down with my cutter and I'm going to cut through, and look how cool that is. I mean, that is really, really cool. And then I can gently push this out. And if you need to use one of your tools to get it back out of the cutter, you can. And I'm going to put that to the side, but look how awesome that is. And then I'm going to go right next to it with my cutter. And I'm going to push through here. And just like with baking and making some cool sugar cookies or something, you are going to have some excess, and we'll find ways to use that. So don't worry about that. But here's what we have so far. We have these that are about 3 millimeters thick, because that's how thick our slab was. And we have these really cool circles. Now, in order to make these into the jewelry, you're going to want to use one of your tools in order to poke through. So they have a really cool tool in the same kit that I was showing you, and you can just go ahead and pierce through the top. So I want to line my circles up so that my pink line is going in the same direction. And then you want to have a little bit of space at the top, but you don't want too much space, but you also don't want this circle to break through, to be able to pierce through to make yourself a hole. And that hole is where you're going to add your jewelry findings. So you'll need to put a jump ring in there so that you can connect it to an earring, so that you can have these circles that will dangle a little bit. So I poked that hole all the way through. You can double check on the other side that your hole did in fact go all the way through. And then this is my first set of earrings, and I'm just going to put them on another piece of parchment paper on a tray. And then these are pieces that I'm going to put into the oven as soon as this class is over. So you'll be able to see, we'll go all the way through the whole process. So even though I'm not going to bake these with you in class right now, I will show you what they look like when they come out of the oven, and we'll put the findings in together so that you make sure that you can see the whole entire process. So that's our first pair with those really beautiful purples, blues, silvers, and we use that circle cutter. So in this next one, I'm going to use a square cutter, and I'm going to go kind of down in the slab a little bit, and I'm going to cut out a square here, and I'm going to cut a square next to it. And then with these, if you want to do something that connects, you're going to need to poke 2 different holes. So you might need a hole at the top of the square in order to put the actual earring piece that goes in your ear. But then you also want to poke a hole down at the bottom so that you have somewhere to kind of add an extra dangle to it if you want them to be longer or more interesting like that. So with those dangles, if we're going to use these squares in the same way I use this one, you'll need 2 holes instead of just 1. So we'll think about if we want to do that. And then if you want to add something for it to dangle, I think maybe I even want to stick with squares for the next shape. So I'm going to go to the next level, and I'm going to go ahead and push these out using my cutting tool. I love these stripes. This is looking really cool. So maybe I can decide that if I want these, maybe I want the stripes going in one direction, and I want my top piece to go in a different direction, or maybe I want them all to go in the same direction. That's kind of up to you. You can even tip them to the side and make these into diamonds instead of squares. You can make both of them diamonds, or you can make one diamond and one square, depending on where you're putting those holes. So I'm kind of liking this idea of a diamond. So I'm going to have these 2 pieces mirror each other. So you'll notice that I'm making that diamond shape. I'm going to put a hole here, and I'm going to put a hole here, and I'm going to put one here and here. And then I'm just going to add one to the center of the square down here so that those dangle in this direction. So I'm going to use this tool to go pretty close to the top because you want to be able to fit a jump ring in there, but not all the way so that it doesn't cut through. And I'm making sure that I'm puncturing through my clay slab to be able to have a nice hole there. Same thing over here, just poking through this with this nice tool, making sure that it goes all the way through. And I'm going to poke a hole down here as well. These are going to be really cool. I love this design. Making sure that's going all the way through. So here are my diamonds with a hole at the top and the bottom. This one's going to attach to the earring, and this one's going to attach to the dangling part. So I'm going to poke a hole right here. And I'm going to poke a hole right here. And then these are also ready to go onto my tray with my other parchment paper. And you do want to be careful. What's kind of nice about these slabs, as opposed to just a plain color that you're creating yourself, is that they do a pretty good job of resisting my fingerprints. If you're using a plain color, if I touch this too much, it does kind of pick up my fingerprints. And then when I bake it, it adds that texture. And I don't always necessarily want that to show up. So these are pretty nice at not catching your fingerprints and having a pretty nice finish. It will be a matte finish when you pull it out of the oven. It won't have a gloss to it. It will have a little bit of shimmer still because of that silver that's in it. But if you want it to be shinier, you can at the end, after you've completed your jewelry findings and completed making your jewelry, you can add a little bit of UV resin. And if you have UV resin and if you have a lamp to cure the UV resin, that can add some shine to it. So there's a question in the chat that's asking about if your clay is cracking. So that can happen from time to time. There's good instructions in this particular kit that tells you that if it is starting to crack, it recommends that you put it into some water. So you can check out the directions, and it tells you that you can put it into water for a little bit, and it tells you exactly what to do in order to get that better texture back into your slab. So yeah, definitely there are ways to avoid that. Someone asked, can you put clear nail polish over it after it's baked? And yes, you absolutely can. So that would work in that same way as that UV resin would, which is actually another really good idea. Just make sure if you're using UV resin or nail polish that you have the findings in before you add any polish to it, because once you put the polish through, it's going to be hard to get through that hole again to add any of your findings. So just be careful with that and make sure that you already have the metal pieces in, and then you can adjust those later. All right, so you can tell that in my slab, I'm already starting to collect some pieces. I'm trying to be very careful and use as much as this beautiful slab as I can, but you can tell that I have a little bit of extra. So we can always put this extra and we can use it in different ways, and I'll definitely show you how to do that. But one of the things I want to do while I still have this really cool slab is to make some stud earrings. So ones that are definitely not going to dangle, but ones that are just going to be very small and just have a little bit of color on your ear. So I'm taking these flat back studs from this jewelry findings kit, and I'm going to cut out using one of the small cutters, a little piece, and then I'm going to show you how you can attach these together. And you can have findings in your oven. It is okay for you to have metal pieces that go into the oven. Obviously not okay in the microwave, but yes, okay in your oven. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to go ahead and take this little diamond, and I'm going to cut myself 2 little pieces. See if I can get them out. And then what you want to do for your various stud pieces is there's a couple of different methods. You can just go ahead and line it up on the back of the piece and just making sure that you have enough pressure and enough adhesion, and you can bake this together. And when it does bake, it should be able to stay. If for some reason it doesn't stay, or if that method's not working for you, another thing that you can use is something called liquid clay. So this is liquid Sculpey, and you can always use this almost like a glue, but then the Sculpey is a clay, not a glue. So when it goes into the oven, it hardens just like any other clay would. So that's something that you can definitely try. All right. So someone in the chat is asking about a gloss sealer and asking about things to work with if you're working on a budget. So honestly, I don't use a sealer at the end of any of my jewelry. So I love these slabs and I don't mind a matte finish at all. And I still think that they look really nice. So I don't use anything extra to seal them. They are ready to go as soon as I've baked them. So you can just go for the baking part. If you are working with a larger group, like a group of students or something like that, I have done it in the past where we've had classes and we've done the cutting and then we will put the findings in and then we'll put them into the oven, especially if you only have like one class period. If you have 2 days, it's fine to put them in the oven, bring them back out, let them cool, and then add the findings the next day. But it is okay to go ahead and put jump rings in before you put them into the oven, and they will still bake with those jump rings in there. And it will still work. So if you only have 1 day to do the project or only a certain amount of time, you can put all the findings in, keep all of it on your parchment paper and put everything with the findings and all into your oven, and it will be okay. And they will come out completed. So then when they cool down, they're just ready to give back to your students or to your friends if you're having a party or anything like that. So talking a little bit more about these studs, let's say that I pick something like this triangle. And I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit bigger so that I can show you, since that small one I was doing, I don't think it's going to show up well on the camera. So here are 2 of these triangles. So another way that you can turn these into studs is to layer some more clay. So I'm going to take some of the scrap clay and I am going to roll it up. We have some great information in the chat, so thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. And I'm just gonna kind of flatten this out. I could use my roller, but apparently I want to do it the hard way. And I'm just gonna get a nice thin layer. And I don't even necessarily need to cut the whole entire thing, but I'll show you what I'm about to do is kind of pancake the stud into the back of this set of earrings, is what I'm going to try and do. So I have this triangle. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put the stud, and then I'm going to take one of these thin layers of triangle, and I'm basically, like I said, going to pancake this. So I might need to map it out first to make sure that I'm lined up. And here's where I want the hole for my stud to be. So then you can see that I'm placing that thin layer. And then that is going to bake together to keep that stud in place. And that's going to be another way for you to make just those studded earrings, which I think is a really cool method too, of just kind of pancaking it in. So again, to show you that, if I take the piece I want and I have this flat back on it where I want it, I take a very thin triangle, and I'm going to line these up and poke a hole through. And because these are studs, it doesn't really matter what the back looks like because you're not going to be able to see it like you would with a dangling earring. Poking that through to get a good place. And then you do want the flat part of your stud to go against the triangle. And you line that back up. and kind of sandwich that down. And then when you are baking these, you do want to bake them with the metal points going up, and then that will bake and that will nicely attach that stud. So I can put those onto my tray for baking also. And at this point, I'm going to kind of switch over to my other set of clay. And I'm going to show you how, if you didn't already have a pre-made slab, kind of what the process of making one of these slabs is, so that you can really appreciate the fact that someone has pre-made some. So I am going to go ahead and, to try and keep this from drying out, put it back into this plastic container. And if you have a Ziploc bag or something else to keep it in also, that would be a good idea at this point. These are some of the scraps from the pieces that I've been working on so far. So I'm going to keep these because I am going to use everything. And I'm going to use these in creating a different kind of slab. So I'm going to open this up, and I think I'm going to grab, let's see, I think I'm going to grab this white. And I'm not necessarily going to use it as a slab, so I'm going to open up this protective seal that's been keeping my clay nice and keeping it from drying out. So I do, Michael's has a lot of cool storage solutions, but I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's one of those cases that has probably about maybe even 20 of these little plastic boxes. I find these plastic boxes to be super helpful for lots of things. So I can imagine that if I have a couple colors and I put them into Ziploc bags and keep them into these boxes, I think that could help a lot too. So that can kind of help keep all of your supplies in one place and keep you from getting too disorganized. But you know, half the fun of crafting is just getting into it and digging in. So I just kind of peeled off a piece of this slab, and I'm going to kind of work with it. And I'm going to be rolling it and kind of pressing it together. And I will roll it back out into kind of like a slab. Sorry, I have to take it away from the camera so I can use my muscles. There we go. And if you happen upon, this clay is actually pretty good, but if you happen upon some clay that you pulled out from something you've been doing before and it is a little bit dry, you can also add in a little bit of the liquid Sculpey, and the liquid Sculpey can give you that extra dampness that you might need in order to get your clay back into shape. You don't want to use a ton of it, but maybe just a couple drops of it can give you just enough that you need to get your clay back in order. So I'm going to kind of knead this and play with this for just a moment. And then I'm going to roll it out to a slab. And this time I'm not going to roll the slab to the 3 millimeters, which is kind of my finishing size. I'm going to roll out to the 4.5 millimeters, because when I make a slab, I'm going to add to the top of it, and then I'm going to roll it again, and I'm going to roll it down to that smaller level and see what the slab looks like then. So I'm going to start rolling this. And when I do roll this, I like to keep moving it into different directions so that I can kind of keep widening it as I go too. So I'm picking it up and kind of rotating it around as I go. And I think I've hit the 4.5 millimeter mark. It's not getting any thinner, and my rollers aren't doing anything anymore. So I've hit the 4.5. And then the way that people create these really beautiful slabs, like the one that we were working on before, is they add to a slab. So let's say that we take some of this cool extra purple, and you can break it off. You can do lots of things. You can just break it off into little dots, and you can place it onto the slab. You can roll it into tiny little snakes. So if you feel like your clay is completely falling apart, keep working with it, because some of the oils in your hands can actually help you get that back together. And just having that little bit of moisture could really get your clay back together. And if that doesn't work, look at the directions if you've just purchased your clay, and it does usually tell you how you can restore the clay. So I'm just kind of playing with this and making some lines with these little snakes I've been rolling. So you can imagine that to make the slab that we were using with the stripes, someone took a lot of time to make all these different color pieces and line them up perfectly to make all those beautiful stripes. Then they might have added some silver flakes to get that silver. But we're kind of making our own design with the slab and really going for it. I'm making some of these little snakes to kind of add some lines. I like this. It's just fun. And like I said, what's nice about the pre-made slabs is that you can probably already guess that the back of my slab is just plain white because I'm only decorating on the front. So that's what's nice about these pre-made slabs also, is that they're double-sided, which is another skill in and of itself to be able to do. I love these. So I'm laying down, and it doesn't matter how thick the things I'm laying down are, is because I'm going to go back and I'm going to roll again. And I'm going to roll this time down to the 3 millimeters. And so any extra thickness, I'm going to kind of squish into the design. You can put the clay into water, that is a thing. It might take a moment for it to be ready to use again, and there are some good directions in the packages, but that is something you can do. And just like with any clay, if you want to add a little bit of water to your finger and kind of work with smoothing the side, kind of a little bit like a slip, you can. This is kind of fun, just playing with this. And if I wanted to, I could take one of the other colors and I could add in some black, I could add in some gray, and just do the same kind of thing that I've been doing with these different lines and these different snakes. So I've kind of created just a fun, random, abstract pattern on here with some dots and with some snakes. And then I'm going to take the thinner rollers. So if you're not using the measuring guides, if you're using something like craft sticks, maybe the first thing you want 2 craft sticks stacked up together and you keep it that thickness, and then take away those 2 and leave it to just 1 craft stick. And then what I'm doing right here is, yes, I'm smushing those designs into the slab to make them one with the slab. And I'm moving and rotating. And so I've taken those pieces and really kind of intertwined them. And that's why the thickness I started with was much thicker, so that I had a little bit of space to push it down into the white slab. So I like using a plain color slab in the background and then using some other colors to decorate on the top of it. And then you have your own new slab that has its own uniqueness. And so maybe this time I want to take this little wiggly and go through and push through. And as I said, it's going to be white or it's going to be plain on the back, but you have this really cool design on the front. I'm going to use one of my tools to kind of get it back out of the cutter. I have also seen, I haven't tried it myself, but I've seen people use like saran wrap or plastic wrap, and they put it on top of the slab and put the cutter through the saran wrap, which kind of gives you cleaner, smoother edges on the side. So here's this one that I just cut. I love that. It's fun. It's random. I'm going to cut another piece in this. And there's no need to try and make them match because the slab itself doesn't necessarily have a pattern to it. There you go. And there you have it. You have these really cool little wiggles with your own design that you created. And then if I do want these to turn into earrings, I'm just going to make sure that I give myself a nice hole for my jump rings to go through. I'm actually going to poke it this way. This one. And then I can put these onto my tray also. And I'm ready for those. So this is fun. And then you can tell that if I were to roll this up again, I would get an even different design. So know that when you have your slab that's already pre-made, if I roll this into a ball, obviously it's not going to come back out in the same way. So every time you remix something, it's going to be a different design. It's not going to come out the same. So if I wanted to, I could add some more white to this if I want to make sure that it has some streak to it also. So you can try all of those different things and just make some different pieces with that. So now that we've kind of created a bunch of our different clay designs, and I have a nice tray full of things that I'm going to be able to put into my oven and bake, I'm going to show you the pieces that I baked earlier. Actually, I baked them last night, and I'm going to show you how you can attach those jewelry bindings to those pieces. So on the back of your package, it does tell you to bake for 20 minutes at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And then after you've baked it for the 20 minutes, you definitely want to leave them out to cool. And you don't want to mess around with it until it's plenty cool. And when your clay has officially cooled down, you are ready to do some jewelry making basics with some jump rings and some earring pieces. So here is my tray that I took out of the oven. So I have, I used a slab that looks like this, that's black with some really cool light pastel dots in it. And so I made some of these black pieces. So this one's pretty similar to some of the ones that we were making before. And then I have I mixed my own slab and I made this cool like horseshoe-like shape. You could turn that into a keychain because it's a bigger piece. I have some different studs. And if you don't attach the findings to the studs beforehand, you can put the Sculpey on as glue, put it back in with the stud to the oven and bring it back out and bake it. Or you can use a jewelry glue at this point also to help you attach those if you haven't already. I made some of these cute little snakes too. I love these little wiggly snakes. So I'm going to pull those out. I'm going to pull these out. And I'm going to show you how to attach some of these together to make your own jewelry. So I'm going to be making this first set of wiggles into like into these dangly pieces. So someone's asking about the designs that were on the picture for the class today. So I have some more examples I can pull over and show you. So some of those were made using plain colors and not pre-made slabs. And so for these, I did a lot of just what I just showed you with that last slab, where I used probably a black slab as my base and I put some orange on and just made some different designs. And then I was able to come up with some of those orange and black kind of pieces. You can tell too that these, let me show you another set that using some plain colors. So here's another set where I kind of marbled my own. And then I cut those using a larger cutter to make these, which I think turned out really cool. And then also that bigger piece, I don't happen to have it right in front of me right now, but the way that that one was made was more of like a caning technique. And what caning is it's rolling up little snakes of clay and then kind of surrounding them in black, so that the way that I got that stained glass look to it is basically putting black clay around colorful clay and then slicing it using my slicer and using a cutter of some sort to cut out a design as well. So if you roll your clay up and kind of make it like a corn dog with like a black clay around it, then that's going to be the kind of that stained glass look that I really like also. So in terms of shrinkage, there's not going to be a lot of shrinkage. It's not a shrinky dink. So when you put it in and you get it back out, so this is my baked and this is my original, you can tell that they're exactly the same size. So there really is not shrinkage. Don't count on that. All right, so in my little kit, I have some jump rings and I have some of these earrings. And I'm going to take some of the larger jump rings and I'm going to open these jump rings. So if you've never used jump rings before, welcome, hello. We are glad you're here. And a jump ring has this metal piece that the metal is cut right here. And the number one rule of jump rings is do not pull them apart. Like don't just widen the circle. Instead of widening the circle, the point of opening a jump ring is to twist. So I'm moving this right hand, I'm turning towards me, and my left hand, I'm moving away from me, and I'm twisting in order to get an opening. And then once you have a wide enough opening, I don't know if that's going to be wide enough, you can slip that through the hole of whatever it is you're working on. And then the way you close that jump ring back up is by twisting it back into place. So you don't want to ever take the jump ring and just open it wide because it kind of distorts the circle of the ring. But by twisting, you keep that circle shape and you know the size and you keep it intact. And then I just match that back up. And there I go. So I've attached that. And then depending on this, so when I have this on my earring going this way, then I want to attach one more jump ring to connect these two together. If I don't attach a jump ring and I just attach this, then when this is hanging on my ear, it's going to face this way and I want it to face this way. So I need to attach one more pretty small jump ring to attach the earring finding and the clay earring itself together. So I'm twisting these open. I'm putting it through the big jump ring and I'm putting it through my earring. So a question in the chat is asking why I'm using rounded pliers. And the real answer is because I picked them up. But any two pliers can work. It's not about the roundedness of it and it's not about a flat one. It's just me having two is what I need to kind of twist the wire. So here I have these jump rings attached now. Let me see which way they're going. There we go. So I have the jump ring that's going kind of vertically towards me. And then I have another mini one, and then I connect it to this one. And so now this is ready to kind of dangle as a really nice earring. So the texture of this clay is, it doesn't feel like the original clay. It does feel hard. And it definitely has some sturdiness to it. It's not like a terracotta. It feels matte, which means that it's not shiny. It is pretty smooth though, so it's not flaky. It's not flaky, it's not rough. So if that helps describe that texture a little bit. So I'm just using any two pairs of pliers to kind of twist that jump ring open, slip the jump ring through that hole, and close it back up by twisting. Then I'm going to take another one of the tiny little jump rings to connect the ring I just put in to the earring itself. So I'm twisting this to open, putting this in here, and grabbing this earring to connect. And I'm closing this back up. There we go. Awesome. So now I have my first set of earrings done. And I love the way these look. Very fun, very squiggly. And I do like, because this was one of the pre-made slabs, that it's a front and back design. So when these dangle, you have something to look at on both sides, which I think is cool. I can put these to the side. And then with these, we made some before where we did our diamonds and we did our squares. So the technique I'm about to use is how I would complete this, because this one has 2 holes in it and this one has 1. In this case, I made these 2 circles to be the top pieces that have 2 holes in them. And then I made the square to be the bottom piece. So I'm going to attach these pieces to each other, and I'm going to attach this part to the earring. So these kits come in lots of different kinds of metals. So if you want to use a rose gold, or if you want to use a different metal, a silver, a gold, making sure that you use a nickel free. If you need a nickel free, you can do that. So I'm going to switch over to a rose gold just to kind of show you a difference. And I have some of these pieces from a different kit with rose gold. And I'm going to pick out a couple of these jump rings for myself. And then I have the earring findings also. There we go. So I love all the different choices of all the different metals, because some people are big silver fans, some people are big gold fans, and really don't like to mix. So you can find whatever it is that you need, and you can go with that. And I do have those earring pieces in rose gold also. Just need to find where I put them. That's funny. Here they are. Okay. So there have been a lot of really great questions in the chat. Here's a different kind of earring finding. This doesn't come in the kit I was showing you before, but a lot of people like these type 4 earrings, especially if the holes on their ears are a little bit looser, because these close all the way up. So those are another nice option for you. But in the kit, it does come with the kind that I was showing you before as well. So I think I'm going to show you this just because it's different. And I'm going to attach these. Lots of choices. You can get lost in that jewelry aisle and have lots of fun. So I'm going to first open one of these larger jump rings, and I'm going to connect the circle to the square using a jump ring. And I really only need 1 jump ring, because if I use 2, then again, that would turn this one into this direction. But if I just use this one, it's going to keep those lined up in the same direction. So I'm going to go ahead and put that through. But this might actually be, if you had a problem fitting these both in, which could potentially happen, you can use 3 jump rings instead of 2, and then that will get you back to, instead of going in this direction, they'll both be facing in this direction. But I think I'm going to luck out and that both of these are going to fit nicely on here. But if you want more dangle, if you want more length, then you can add 3 jump rings instead of just 1, and still have your piece end up facing in the right direction. So now I'm trying to twist this jump ring through so that I can find the other side of it, and I can close it back up. There we go. There it is. And then I'm going to use my pliers in order to twist this back closed. And I do have that metal meeting the metal right there. And I have that connected piece. So if you want these to move a lot more, either use a larger jump ring or use 3 jump rings. But I kind of like this just barely attaching and just a little bit of movement. And then at the top again, I'm going to need 2 jump rings in order for them to face in the correct direction. So I'm going to attach this first one through the top of the circle. There we go. And I am going to go ahead and close it back up. Cool. And then I'm going to take a smaller jump ring and open it. And the reason why I'm doing this second jump ring again is because if I just attach the earring, then when you put the earring in, it's going to turn your earring this way. So that's why I'm adding a second jump ring, to keep it lined up in the way that I want it to be lined up. There we go. And a nice thing again about those pre-made slabs is that this is double-sided also. so it doesn't really matter which direction I go. And then I have this nice piece that can go into an ear and be a little bit more of a statement piece. Do it one more time and show you. If you have any other questions, let me know. I can answer any of those. And later today, if you have time, I'm teaching another class today called A Mother's Day Etch and Sip with another instructor, Kesley. And we are going to teach you how to do some glass etching using a Cricut machine and using an etching cream to etch the name of somebody, someone's name onto a glass. And then we're going to talk about some different drinks and some edible glitter that you can use to really elevate some extra fun. I'm attaching the square to this jump ring. So that's at 3 today. If you can't attend, then all of these classes are available on our Michael's YouTube channel. And you're welcome to jump on there and check out any of our previous classes. But every Thursday and Friday, I tend to have classes. So if you want to ever join me for all kinds of different crafts, we can see what we can make together. Here we go. I've twisted those. And I can even kind of take that piece and twist it so that it's kind of hiding. You can't really see the part that joined together. And then I just need 2 more jump rings and I'll have finished this piece. So I'd love to see if you are playing along with me and you are making your own. I would love to see what you are creating. You can share with us on our Instagram at Learn with Michaels. Just tag us or use that hashtag and I can kind of take a look and see what you're making. Also feel free to go over to my own personal Instagram, which is 4M Coleman, and you can see some of the jewelry that I've already made today. So you can see a couple more examples of things to kind of get some more ideas flowing. And you can also see when I do put those into the oven and bake the ones that I made today during class, you can see what those finished products are going to look like too on that Instagram channel. So I'm attaching that last jump ring together and closing that back up by twisting. And I have my second set of earrings done. And there we have it. Yeah, so this is a pretty nice smooth finish. I wouldn't say that it's sandy. I wouldn't say that it's rough. I think it's smooth. It doesn't have any sealers. It doesn't have anything extra to it. I just baked it in the oven and used those pre-made slabs. So I think that you'll enjoy that. All right, so I am off to the oven next and I'm going to bake some more pieces of jewelry that we made together. But I hope that you're headed to Michael's to get yourself one of these cool slabs. And I would love to see what kind of designs that you make. So thank you so much for joining me again today. I really had a good time and I hope to see you again in another class soon. Thank you so much.